Hey people, Recovering Soul says, not sure why Jacob is supposed to be so special. He tricked his brother out of his birthright. And so that story kind of gets screwed up in translation. But it kind of says that he traded it for Adam. It's interpreted as the red stuff. And this Adam is the same word used in the beginning for Adam or for the man. It's just doubled up here and it's interpreted as red stuff, red drink, red stew, some other things. So this translation in Genesis 25:29 starts with Esau sells his birthright. And this translation says, and cooked Jacob a stew, and came in Esau from the field, and he was weary. And he said Esau to Jacob, feed me please with the red stew. This for weary I am. Upon thus was called his name Edom. You see it's spelled A-D-U-M. And so anybody in the Bible, they get their name changed. But this red stew, this is where he got his name, just like everybody's named for what happened. Jacob was named for the heel. And so he took this name, Adam, which actually reads backwards as it's Mudda, M-U-D-A, Mudda. And he got it from this red stew, which is the Adam. And this is the same spelling you see the man, or Adam, the man, A-D-M. So before giving some stew, Jacob says, it said, Jacob, sell as this day your birthright to me. And said Esau, behold, I am about to die, so what is this to me, birthright? It said, Jacob, swear to me as this day. So he swore to him and sold him his birthright to Jacob. And Jacob give Esau bread and stew. You see the stew spelled different now. W-N-Z-I-D. And lentils, and he ate and drank. And arose and went his way, thus despised Esau his birthright. So this red stew, you can see it's the same number, 122. It actually reads backwards and forwards here after this tack. It's just to made had from the ads. But it's given a different place here. They say only comes up this 2 times. And you see the other words for red is Adam, Adama, Adamim, Adam. But here you see it's the different interpretations. And let me have a swallow of that red stuff. I read some of that same red. That same was this NAS version, or the King James version, that same red. Please with red. This is the international version. And this one calls it the red pottage. They give it the pottage in parentheses. I mean, it's not there. It's the same red, or the red. Yeah, the red is mad, not damn. Damned is the woman that's bleeding, and mad is her face when. So all that story is just part of the fairy tale designed to cover up the writings here. But there was no Jacob and Esau and Isaac and Abraham. They just weren't in this original writings. So what this says is, voila. Voila is words you hear in magic. Voila, and just like magic. Voila, and appear before your eyes, And it's the wall, the told it. Voila, told it. Like magic, told it. Its chief, I-X-I-T-S. It's Chetkov, or its chief. Use here, it's I-T-Z. It's chief. That final K should be a P-H or an F. It's C-H-F. Voila, told it, its chief, bend, and then backwards and forwards after this tack. And so it's am from herein, E-R-B, B is in, from herein, A-V-R-E-S, from hearing Avery's, from hearing the birds. Voila, I told it. And so you see this voila, see this is this base word and A-L-E. This is the same base word they say is, sometimes it means trees, sometimes they say it means God, sometimes they say it means these, sometimes things, sometimes it means oath, they say. But we're going to go with voila, like magic told it. It's Chief Benny from hearing Avery's, from talking to the birds. And so if you look up augur and read up on augur, you'll see that it was a priest. And you look at old money, and they're on all the old money with their litton here, and they say that this was a horn he played for the birds, his litus. And it's not. It's his litmus paper. He's a alchemist, and that's his litmus paper. He goes out and checks the acid. But yeah, he tells everybody that he interprets the will of the gods by studying the flight of the birds. The birds talk to him. Voila, told it. It's Chief. Been from hearing Avery's, from listening to the birds. And so this one doesn't have a tack, so it just reads this one time backwards. From hearing, evaluate, to fix its check. If you look at this side, you'll see the vowel points are different every time. You know, if it's his name's changing. You'll see they change the spelling in the names and all of them, because it's not names. It's groups of letters that are being teased by a poet. But yeah, if you got the magic that told it, it's Chief Ben from hearing the birds, from hearing evaluate to fix its check. You writing your own check. You evaluate. You signing your own check. You know, you're talking to the gods. The wage its check, Ben. And you see this this band, see here, it's old here and it's sun here, and there's about it's about 180 different words they say mean sun here. These all have the BN in them, and most of them BNI, and there's many other lists of suns. They give a whole bunch of words suns in order to make all this fit. But it's to wage its check, bend from job backwards and forwards after this tack. From the job first, from the job of the head, our boys shine. From the job of the first, he's a man in charge. He's higher than the king there. You see his face on the money. From the job first, our boys shine. Our boys, you know, the sons of the kings go into the business. In fucks what to the favor in fee. You know, you're fucked, you're gonna pay whatever price. It's the QHT and BQHT, in fucked. And then the WTO, what to? The favor, backwards and forwards, the QVR. The favor and fee. And the battle, BT, and then backwards and forwards, LA. The battle, what in to all the army from Peden Moore. You know, you're gonna ask for the gods' help when you're at war, to keep the army from impeding army to moving in on you more. To which a lovin' the army Lou, he, she, or it lose. L-A-S-E, it loss, it lose. How at Ritz chief live, link what Saki offer who. You know, you could tell how rich somebody's living is to link what kind of sake they offer you when you go visit. What kind of sake they offer who? You know, you go visit the president, you're going to be drinking some cognac. You come see me, you drinking some Mad Dog. Why it ruled to you water, revoke what so. Why tracks zoo the beans, the bings before be? Why tracks zoo the zoo XU is usually they say is command, but it's the animals of the sky, the zoo, and the bings, the marks of time before it be, before it happens. Why tracks them? You know what's going to happen before it happens. Why track zoo the beings before be? What Homer, what command man can limn these? I can, icon, and talk leaders to have you. And you see in their interpretation, so she went to inquire of Yahweh, and it's to talk the leaders to have you. You know, you talking to the leaders. You're the visionary. You see things before they happen. The commander of the times. Why Homer? How command you of the sign? The guy from just one of these words, you know, the guy G-U-I-S or the G-U-I-M, the guy from above think. How command you of the sign, the guy from above think, to the sign Loomis. Loomis is the constellations, those Sumerian god of all the constellations. The Loomis from M.O. Jack, from your modus operatum Jack, you know, from how you do your job to make paired to, you know, shall be separated as to pair, to put them together, to make paired. When you make paired your socks, you're not separating them, you're putting them together. Separating from the bunch to pair them up, to make paired to. And last from loss, James, wherein make a bid, the sour. This is sour as in the younger, as in south. You know, if you're north of 40, you're over 40 years old. And so, and last from lost, James. This is James. James means the one who's taken the king's place. Is what the word King James means. It means the one that will be king. James, the one that will be. Jamx. This is James. And it comes up often, but it usually comes backwards with an A in front, so it reads backwards. But this is the word James. So it will be the king, wherein make Ovid, the sheep. To make the sheep, Ovid. The sour, the younger. To serve the younger. So this part they got right here. So this really isn't saying anything about taking the birthright from the older brother, but it's saying that the younger has the skills of reading astrology, and he takes the power from James, from lost James, wherein makes serve the sour, the south. And you see the word for the older would be the nor. The nories, the north, would be the older. So I'm going to cut this off here, and I'm going to start this next paragraph in this next movie here. And it's just 5 lines here until it gets down to the birthright. Alright, good day.